All right, so have you ever had one of those like oops moments at work,
Oh, yeah.
where
Oh,
uh
man.
like a simple mistake
Oh, yeah.
just kind of snowballs into this like major headache?
Absolutely.
We're going to kind of deep dive into that feeling today
Okay.
using a snippet from the Real English Talk podcast.
Okay.
They've cooked up this fictional scenario about workplace mishaps,
Mm-hmm.
but it is absolutely packed with practical communication tips that we can all use.
Yeah, I really like how they use a story format to teach these skills.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sneaking in a lesson while you're enjoying, a bit of workplace drama.
Right.
Much more engaging than just like a dry lecture.
Exactly. So the setting is tip-top trading.
Okay.
And let's just say they're having a rough month.
Okay.
A string of delivery errors has the boss, like, on edge,
Oh.
demanding a complete review of all orders.
Oh, wow.
High stakes, right?
Yeah.
It's in these pressure cooker situations
Hmm.
that those tiny mistakes can really magnify.
Absolutely. And that pressure often leads to even more errors.
Oh, totally.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
The podcast cleverly uses this scenario to highlight not just the importance of communication,
Right.
but also like the psychological factors at play.
Okay, so let's meet our key players.
Okay.
We've got Paul, who is diligently calling customers to verify orders.
Okay.
Then there's Tom, who's trying his best to avoid another major blunder.
Right.
Denise seems a bit
Oh, no.
distracted, shall we say.
Uh-oh.
And then there's Anna, who's bravely facing the warehouse manager, Mr. Ingle,
Okay.
a character known for his, well, let's just call it direct communication style.
I love how they've created these diverse personalities.
Mhm.
Makes the scenario relatable and the lessons more memorable.
Right. So Tom's trying to be extra careful,
Oh,
but in a moment's distraction, he accidentally orders 5,000 units of something instead of 5.
my goodness.
It's played for laughs.
Oh, wow.
But anyone who's ever dealt with spreadsheets knows that numerical errors are terrifyingly common.
That's a great point. It's not just about double checking.
Right.
It's about understanding the context of those numbers.
Yeah.
Was there like a recent change in demand?
Right.
Did Tom misinterpret a client email?
Yeah.
A thorough review, like the one the boss ordered, would ideally uncover those kinds of underlying issues.
It makes you realize how much relies on clear communication,
Wow, yeah,
both written and verbal,
for sure.
to prevent those cascading errors.
Precisely, one miscommunication can have ripple effects throughout the entire system.
Now, switching gears to Anna and her encounter with Mr. Ingle.
Okay.
She's tasked with clarifying some order details,
Okay.
and you can practically hear the nervousness in her voice.
Yeah.
But here's what impresses me.
Okay.
She doesn't let that anxiety derail her.
Right.
She goes in prepared with a list of questions and uses some incredibly smart phrases
Oh.
to navigate the conversation.
Her preparation is key.
Yes.
It's a great example of how a little forethought can help manage those nerves.
Right. So as Anna's talking to Mr. Ingle, she uses phrases like, sorry to bother you,
Mm-hmm.
just to be absolutely sure.
Yeah.
Could you possibly clarify? And one thing I wasn't sure of was, these are like verbal gold
Right.
when it comes to those potentially tricky conversations.
Absolutely. What's fascinating is that Anna, despite her nervousness,
Yeah.
is subtly demonstrating the DESC model of communication.
Uh-huh.
It stands for describe, specify, and consequences.
Wow.
She's describing the situation,
Okay.
expressing her need for clarification,
Right.
specifying what she needs, and hinting at the potential consequences of a misunderstanding.
Wow. I never thought of
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah.
But it makes total sense.
Yeah.
That framework could be incredibly helpful in all kinds of situations,
Oh, yeah.
not just workplace mix-ups. Imagine using it when negotiating a deadline with a client,
Uh-huh.
or even addressing a conflict with a coworker.
Exactly. It provides a structure for clear and assertive communication while maintaining respect.
It's like she's subtly taking control of the conversation,
Uh-huh.
even though Mr. Ingle is technically the one with the authority.
Precisely. And it's not about being manipulative.
Right.
It's about using clear and respectful communication to achieve a desired outcome.
And it works.
Right.
Mr. Ingle, despite his gruff exterior, provides her with the information she needs.
Yeah.
It really highlights how powerful those subtle communication techniques can be.
It also underscores the importance of emotional intelligence in the workplace.
Yeah.
Anne is clearly self-aware, managing her own anxiety,
Right.
while also being attuned to Mr. Ingle's personality. That kind of adaptability is crucial in navigating complex interpersonal dynamics.
It's a good reminder for us all to pay attention, not just to what we say, but how we say it,
Yeah.
especially when dealing with those different personalities.
Absolutely. Tone of voice, body language, even the timing of our responses can all convey subtle messages
Right.
that can either escalate or de-escalate a situation.
Now, while Anna is smoothly navigating her warehouse mission,
Uh,
poor Tom is back in the office facing the music for his 5,000 unit blunder.
oh.
It's a moment that's both humorous and cringeworthy.
It's a classic example of how even the most diligent employees can make mistakes, especially under pressure.
Overall.
But it's how we respond to those mistakes that truly defines us.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay.
What are some healthy ways to cope with those oops moments, both for ourselves and as managers or colleagues?
That's a great question. First, it's essential to acknowledge the mistake without dwelling on it.
Okay.
Dwelling on it only amplifies negative emotions and can hinder problem solving.
I like that. So acknowledge, then move on to problem solving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then focus on identifying the root cause of the error.
Yeah.
Was it a communication breakdown, a process flaw, or just a simple oversight?
Uh-huh.
This analysis is crucial for preventing similar mistakes in the future.
It's about learning from the experience
Right.
rather than simply punishing the person.
Absolutely, and this is where clear and open communication is vital. If you're a manager, create a safe space for employees to report mistakes without fear of retribution.
That psychological safety is so crucial.
Right.
If people are terrified of getting in trouble, they're more likely to hide errors, which can lead to even bigger problems down the line.
Exactly, and remember, mistakes are inevitable.
Yeah.
They're part of the human experience, especially in complex environments like workplaces.
What I'm taking away from this is that it's not about striving for perfection, but rather cultivating a culture of learning and continuous improvement.
That's a fantastic takeaway, and that culture starts with each of us.
Right.
How do we respond to our own mistakes?
Yeah.
How do we support colleagues who are struggling?
So much of this boils down to empathy, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Putting ourselves in the other person's shoes and remembering that we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that, we're all human, we're all fallible, and we're all in this together.
I couldn't agree more, and sometimes those oops moments can lead to unexpected breakthroughs.
That's such an interesting point. It's like the saying, every cloud has a silver lining. Could you elaborate on that a bit?
Of course, when we make a mistake,
Yeah.
it forces us to kind of step back, reevaluate,
Right.
and often come up with more creative solutions.
Right.
Think about all the innovations that have come from someone saying, hey, that didn't work as planned,
Right.
but what if we try this instead?
So reframing those mistakes as opportunities for growth and innovation. I love that perspective.
It's about shifting our mindset from fear of failure
Yeah.
to curiosity and a willingness to experiment.
Okay.
In fact, there's a growing body of research on the concept of psychological safety in the workplace.
Okay.
Studies have shown that when employees feel safe to take risks and make mistakes,
Uh-huh.
they're more likely to be creative, innovative, and engaged.
That makes perfect sense. If you're constantly worried about getting in trouble for every little slip-up, you're not going to be in the right headspace to think outside the box.
Precisely. And that's where leadership plays a crucial role.
Creating a culture where mistakes are seen as learning opportunities rather than punishable offenses is essential for fostering innovation and growth.
So to bring this back to our listener,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways they can apply in their own work lives?
Okay.
Whether they're managing a team or simply trying to navigate their own day-to-day tasks.
First, I would say embrace the DESC model of communication that we discussed earlier.
Right.
It's a powerful tool for addressing challenging situations with clarity and respect.
It's like having a roadmap for those tricky conversations.
Exactly. Second, remember that tone and nonverbal cues matter just as much as the words themselves.
Okay.
Pay attention to your body language, your tone of voice, and even the timing of your responses.
It's about being mindful of how our communication is being received.
Absolutely. Third, practice empathy, both for yourself and for others.
Okay.
We all make mistakes, and it's how we handle those mistakes that truly matters.
It's about extending that same grace and understanding that we hope to receive ourselves.
And finally, remember that mistakes can be valuable learning opportunities.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things, and to view setbacks as stepping stones on the path to success.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the key message is that while workplace mishaps are inevitable,
Uh-huh.
they don't have to derail us. By focusing on clear communication, empathy, and a growth mindset, we can navigate those challenges with grace and emerge even stronger on the other side.
Beautifully said. And remember, sometimes those oops moments make for the best stories later on.
as long as we learn from them, right?
Precisely.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive. I feel like I've learned so much, not just about workplace communication, but also about the power of perspective and resilience.
It's been a pleasure discussing this with you.
And to our listener, we hope you found this deep dive valuable. If you've ever experienced a workplace mishap that turned into a learning opportunity, we'd love to hear about it. Share your stories and insights because we can all learn from each other's experiences. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, even the most successful people have had their fair share of oops moments. It's all part of the journey.